compositions can look great with the artifact brushes. They do, however, require a few more steps than usual. I've mentioned screen printing before, so think of it like that. Each color has to be separated out and printed individually. This badge has 3 colors: red, gold, and a little bit of white. So I'll duplicate those layers and use alpha lock, fill layer, black, or adjust curves to save those as black and white JPEGs. And I like to add a little bit of weathering before I save those. Now I've saved all 3 here, and I'm going to load them into the grain source of a brush, one at a time, using the same brush. So I've renamed that brush as a duplicate, and I painted on here using the tilt effect to get a darker look at the edges. I didn't like the first one, so I repainted it here. Next, I want to color grab that gold and load in the gold part. As I paint that on, it lines up perfectly, and I do the tilt to add a little bit more expression in the bottom right. Finally, the white. I've color picked that white from the original image and painted it on here. I move the image up so you can see where the white actually is, and I select the red and delete the excess around the white. Adding a background will make that show up a little bit more, and duplicating those art layers, adjusting the blend modes will give you a nice, colorful, bright look. Another way to do this is undercolor. So I have the original red part, and I want to add the gold and white parts. You don't have to make new brushes for those parts. You can undercolor that using a paper brush. So I've drawn on the white part here and then color picked my gold color. And on a layer underneath that red layer, I'm just painting in the gold with a paper brush. Another thing I like to do is erase the excess. So using this badge, I'll paint it as one color, one solid color. And the parts I want to change, I can do a different layer and erase the parts I don't need. If this time lapse is a little fast, please go back and check out different parts you didn't get, or you can reduce the speed here in the settings. But I've painted this black part, and I'm going to select that on a new layer, paint the parts I want gold. And the parts I don't want gold, I'll just erase with a normal eraser. So I have the black part and the gold part. The gold part, I'll select that and use that to erase the black part underneath. So erasing the excess from 2 different layers and putting those together, that can give you a multicolor composition. Masking works the same way, but instead of erasing, it's drawing on top. So you have your main image that you've drawn in black and white. Select that, and then just on a new layer, paint in the parts that you want. Add your background, and there, it shows up perfectly.